Hi, this is Luana Rubin, and I am here at the third Long Beach Quilt Festival in Southern California. I'm so excited to be back here, and I'd like to show you some of my favorite quilts and a peek at this exhibit right behind me that was inspired by Guyleen Fitzgerald. It's Trash to Treasure, Pineapple Quilts. It's all made from scraps, and I just love the idea, and once you get a look at these, you might catch pineapple fever. So when I walked into this exhibit, my eye went right to this piece, and it's by Guyleen Fitzgerald, the person who was the founder and the inspiration of this exhibit, appropriately. I love the way the black makes the bright colors pop, and I love the way that she worked in those large-scale, very hip flowers into the overall color scheme. Fabulous. Here's a beautiful color study by Alice Heckman. These are all chromatic hand dyes, and I just love chromatic color studies, in other words, like the colors of the rainbow. And it's very California, don't you think? Take a look at the beautiful stitching and the beautiful flow of hand-dyed colors in this piece, and it's a large piece too. When I come to quilt exhibits, I'm always looking for figurative and portrait quilts because I'm a portrait and figurative painter. And here's one that really caught my eye because it's got a combination of very handmade but also digital elements and big thick stitching, and after going to the Tokyo Quilt Show in January, that sashiko type thick stitching always catches my eye. This piece really caught my eye because it's about the creative process, which is one of my favorite topics. It's about confidence on the one hand versus self-doubt on the other. And have any of us not experienced that? This is from the Below the Surface exhibit, and Linda has used something that, how can you get more below the surface than an X-ray image, right? She has used Photoshop to manipulate the image, and what I really love about this is the color combination of turquoise and orange. There's something about those two colors together that make them just vibrate, don't you think? This is another one from Beneath the Surface, 50 Female and Fearless. That's me. Today happens to be the last day of the Tour de France, and 1 year ago today I was in Paris watching the end of that race. So when I look at this, there are a lot of memories that come flooding back. My husband was a racer. He's a cyclist, Paul Rubin. If you guys shop at Equilter, you know Paul, I'm sure. Anyway, again, this is a great use of color, and I also am really loving quilts that are putting text and words into the image. This piece is a memorial quilt by Alison Muir in Australia for the 2005 tsunami. Equilter sent, through Mission of Love, a container of medical supplies to help with the tsunami, so this is one that really touched my heart as well. And I love the color and the movement of the waves. It really captures the emotion of her intention. Here's a great graphic piece by Jed Clover from Belgium. It is screen printed, painted, collaged, and then quilted. And it really illustrates a great trend that is going on right now in graphic design that has come over into the quilting world, into contemporary quilting of layers and textures and text. Here's another great Sakwa quilt called Sweet Tooth, and what I love about this is it's made from a collage of candy wrappers, and it's a great exercise in building up texture and color and stitching. If you look at this closely, what's a lot of fun is to see all the little bits and pieces that are in here. Paper clips, there's a little plastic heart, little chocolate mint wrappers, and buttons, and little plastic star, and they all combine together to make an overall impression, but up close it's a whole nother world. Here we have another piece in the Sakwa exhibit, Anti-Aging Chemical Warfare. This is a humorous quilt about a very serious subject. It caught my eye first of all because it has a batik stripe that we have sold thousands of yards of at Equilter in about 20 or 30 different colors. But beyond that, you have to take a close look at all of the little lubricants and gels and various chemicals and lotions that she's talking about in this quilt. Ain't it the truth? Here's a bright piece from Japan by Akiko Kawata. It represents dandelions in a spring green field, but you know, it's just the color and the graphic punch of this large quilt that we love. It's part of the Hands All Around International Quilt exhibit that's here every year. So we both like this quilt because it's about the wonder of reading. Moms like that. It's based on a Rose Parade float, and you like it because?
It's a big green worm!
Here's a little piece of quilt textile history. This is by Sandra Lauterbach, who is a daughter of one of the original founders of Alexander Henry Fabrics, which is now owned by the De Leon family. And if you look close, you'll see some of the old original fabrics that were from the Alexander Henry line from way back when. I have no idea, but it's very colorful and it's very whimsical. I'll conclude here in front of this beautiful quilt, Rainbow Canyon, and this is another example of a chromatic color story. And that's what California is all about, color, right? Thanks for joining me here at the Long Beach Quilt Festival. See you in Houston.